Hello, my name's Bianca from Lucky Crafting Art and I'm very happy that you're here again. Today we'll have a look at 4 different methods for designing our own background paper so that you don't have to be afraid of the blank page anymore and that you already have something to look at and that your paper looks a bit more interesting than normal. And these 4 different methods are really simple and you don't need a lot of materials and you should already have most of them at home. The only thing I had to buy was this bubble wrap that I needed for a method, and all of the other different things I already had at home. So now, without further ado, let's get started with the first method. So for the first method, we only need some watercolors, of course some water, and the bubble wrap. And then with these ingredients we get this beautiful result. I already filmed the German video, so I can show you another result. This is this one right here. And now I'll show you how to do it. So for this bubble wrap background, I want to stay in this green-brown color scheme. So what I'm going to do is I'll just apply some color onto the brush, and then I'll just apply the color onto the bubble wrap. And then I want some brown. And because we use watercolor, the color really blends together well. So that's why I can go with a different color over the already painted color. And it doesn't look weird because it just blends in together really well. So and that's it for me. And now we just use our paper and we just press it onto the bubble wrap. Be a bit careful here so that you don't destroy the bubble wraps. And you can see the paint already coming through. Now you can just pull it off. And there we have our background paper. And in my opinion, this is one of the simplest methods that you can use with one of the most effective results. Yeah, you can see it right here. It just looks awesome in my opinion. All right, now for the next method, we just use this sprinkle method. So we just take a paintbrush and we splatter paint onto the paper. And here we have the other example I already did in the German video. So it's quite simple. We take our watercolors again and our bucket of water. And again, I'll take the green-brown tones in this one. Well, I'm sorry, the focus, say something. And I'll use a bit more water so that it's really wet. And then we're just going to splash the paint onto our paper. So yeah, you can see it. I'll just bend the brush a bit and then I'll just let it flop. So you get these sprinkles all over your paper. And you could also just let it drop if you have enough water. Yeah, now it dropped right there. Here you can see it. I have a lot of water on my fingers, so the splashes gets a bit bigger. But that's basically just it. You just splash paint onto your paper and then you get this cool result. Let me clean my hands. All right, so there we have it. And I think it looks really cool. So again, just a simple method for creating these beautiful background pages. So now for the third method, we have the salt method. That's where we just put salt onto a wet paper and then we let it dry. And when it works, you get results like this. And it didn't really work for me. I mean, you can see a few of these dots from the salt, but yeah, kind of didn't really work for me. But the thing I wanted to show you was all of these little dots on the background right here. If my focus wants, yeah, here. This gave the paper a different texture. It's kind of, it feels kind of like leather. And I wanted to try to recreate it because I was not sure if it just was a coincidence or an accident. And I mean, I can spoiler it for you. I already tried it again in the German video and it works. So I recreated it, and with this one you can see it better. All of these little dots on the background. And it looks so cool and it feels even cooler. So let me show you how to do that. So all we need for that is a baking sheet or a baking tray where we can put our paper in, a spray bottle, and of course some salt. So first we start by spraying our paper with water. All right, and that should do the trick. So it's not swimming, but it's wet. And now we apply the salt, and I'll do it by hand. And I'll just sprinkle it all over the paper. So, and that's already enough. So you can see it pretty good on the screen. There is everywhere a bit of salt. And now we just let that dry. And because it takes a while to dry, I'd say at least 5 hours. And then it's not even dry, but at least so dry that you can lift it up without ripping it. And then it should have this beautiful texture. And you saw it. Yeah, I can show you again. You can also use paint or color. You can color the paper beforehand, and then you maybe get this little effect as well. So, and for the last effect, or for the last method, we need a glass surface and again watercolors, and then you'll get these cool effects. This is from the German video, and these two I made before. This is the vintage one. This is with color, and yeah, also with color, but like in red tones. And you can see they're all pretty different. And I guess this is the thing with this method. You won't get the same results. That's just it with this method. But now let me show you how to do it. All right, so as I said, we need a glass surface, and because of that you can see everything reflecting. That's why I put the paints on here, so that you don't have to see my face all the time. And now what we're going to do is we again just apply the paint onto the surface. And here you can be creative, but as I said, there are watercolors, so they blend together pretty well. And that should already do the trick. So here you can see it a bit better, what I did there. So, and I've decided to just use a plain white paper this time. And what we're going to do is we just press it onto the color. And then we just pull it up. And there we have these beautiful results. It looks quite good, even on a white paper. maybe even a bit better because the color is just brighter on it. So now here you can see all of the different results compared to each other. So this is the sprinkle method. Then here we have the salt method, and you can see the difference here quite well. All of these little dots compared to straight surface. Then we have the bubble wrap, and we have the glass method. So I hope I was able to inspire you and maybe give you a few different options to create your own background paper. Maybe you know of even more methods, then please let me know in the comments. And I'm talking about really simple methods. So nothing too complicated. This should be, this should be simple. But you can see, even though they're simple, they look fantastic in the end. And yeah, you just have a start point from which you can keep going so that you're not too afraid of the blank page. Because I think this is, I mean, I already made a video about it, or I will make a video about it. I don't know when it's scheduled. But in that video, I'm going to talk about the blank page. Yeah, no, I already did it. I already talked about the blank page fear. And maybe this is a good start point that you can create a page that isn't blank anymore, and maybe you get inspired by it to craft something else on there, or to paint, or to write, or whatever you can think of. And I hope you like these methods. And now I wish you all the best. I hope you can be creative today. Maybe craft a bit in your junk journal. And with that said, I wish you the best. Have a nice day. Bye bye.